he wants, and I'll show you how the loadouts work as we get into the next mission. So we're gonna head over to the galaxy map now.
I'm just gonna buy some more upgrades quick.
Sounds good.
Might as well. So in this case, this is a completely legal playthrough, but I've waited to do any upgrading so you guys could just kind of see me doing that. So I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of upgrades. Make things a little easier. I think that's enough.
Yeah. All right. So in the original Mass Effect 2, the original Mass Effect, when you went into the galaxy map, you would basically just choose which system and which planet you would go to, and then go there automatically. This time around, you actually take the seat of the ship as if you were flying as Joker, and you can move around. So in this case, we're actually in a solar system with no mass relay. So what we have now is fuel. So you can go from one system to another through the mass relays, and then you can branch out even further. So in this case, we're going to want to go and recruit the Krogan. So as you can see, we were in the relic system. Now we're going to travel over to Emir. So you can see that we're traveling from system to system without a mass relay. Now we're going to head over to Corliss. So as you can see, Christina's actually by hand choosing which planet to go to. So we're going to enter orbit, and then we're actually going to land on the planet. So, this is the new squad selection screen. So, this time around you'll notice that we have 10 squad members available to you, and we're going to choose Miranda and Jacob as the 2 squad members. Now, after you've chosen your squad, we actually get you to make sure that you've spent all your squad points. So squad points are just like they were in Mass Effect 1, with the exception that we actually spread out the way that you spend points. So in the original one, each power would have 10 pips to it. This time around, we still have, the total is 10 points, but we actually get you to spend it in a slightly different fashion so that the actual bang for your buck feels a little bit more noticeable. So in this case, we'll spend 2 points on incendiary ammo, 1 on cryo, and we'll get shockwave 2 ranks as well. Alright, and we'll want to do that for each of the other squad members as well. So one thing to note too is, as you can see, Jacob's actually got incendiary ammo. So in Mass Effect 1, like I was talking about before, we have the X-Mod system. In Mass 2, rather than having X-Mods that you apply to each gun, each class has upgrades that are power-based available to them, so that they're kind of like a World of Warcraft buff, if you will, except that they last for the length of the mission. Now, one thing you're going to note too is that the effect is actually much greater, much more noticeable, and really feels like it's part of the class. So once we've actually spent all of our points here, now we actually go into our loadout. So let's go into Shepard first. So each person has, a number of options. In this case, the Vanguard has access to the shotgun, the machine pistol, and the hand cannon, as well as the heavy weapon. So as an example with the heavy weapon, we're going to go in there and we can actually choose to take the missile launcher. So we'll go with that one, and then we'll go back. And if we, for example, let's say with Jacob, we could go in and we could switch out his hand cannon to the heavy pistol or the hand cannon, whichever one we wanted to go with. And you can do that for every character in your squad as you go, that way, without having to worry about do you have enough of that weapon or not. Alright, so let's head into the mission. So this mission is to recruit the Krogan Dr. O'Keefe. He's a Krogan warlord who's been developing basically battle-ready.
The dossier doesn't say if O'Keefe is on this planet by choice. Assume
Christina and I are both going to call stuff out as we go.
Broadcasting orders over
you'll see a whole bunch of stuff from the Vanguard side.
Stay
also,
focused.
watch for
We're looking
how
for
Christina
a Krogan warlord.
uses hotkeys. You'll see in the top left-hand corner of the screen is the hotkey bar. Watch how she's able to just use that for much more rapid gameplay as well. Watch when Christina is able to actually command her squad
on my way!
for each squad member independently.
Positioning!
And also note that each squad member's commands are much more context sensitive than they were in the first one. So, for example, if you were to hit Q in this case, she would actually command Miranda to move to that spot. If, however, she were to have chosen, had her reticle over an enemy, Miranda would have gone into more of an attack posture instead of a move posture. You'll also notice that the command menu is much more streamlined down so that you can actually add and change weapons much more easily. You're also able to remap on the fly real quickly on PC now.
You can also map squad member powers, like I've got Miranda's Warp and Overload right here, and Jacob's Pulp, so they're mapped and ready for me to use.
Hey!
Observation post ahead. They look tense.
Taking cover! I've got him!
As you saw there, we're just using hotkeys to have Miranda do a pull.
Stun! Have a nice...
The Vanguard Charge. So that's one of the new class special abilities, so only the Vanguard has the capability of doing that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that after this conversation.
Shit. I won't stop bleeding. I'm gonna... Son of a bitch.
Doesn't look that bad, actually.
He doesn't need to know that.
I knew it wasn't berserkers. Not at range. You're mercs or Alliance. I'm not telling you anything.
You're not in the best bargaining position. I'm looking for a Krogan named Okir.
Who? You already know more than I do. I just kill Krogan. The old one in the lab dumps crazy ones down here all the time. Jador hired him to make her an army, but the Krogan he creates are insane. So we use them for live ammo training. It's all crap. I don't get paid enough to goddamn bleed out.
Outpost 4, Jador wants us to move. We need coordinates on that Krogan pack.
Not a word. Let it go.
Fuck it. Patrol, this is Outpost...
What you just saw there was the interrupt system.
Outpost.
So, in this case, he was about to radio in. The interrupt icon came up on the bottom left corner
Warlord
there.
is breeding
That
Krogan
was,
in Jador's
Renegade
lab.
interrupt. So, Christina took action, hit the button. It changed the flow of the conversation, and she killed the guy.
Okir better be able to explain this.
Training is part of your contract. Failure to perform means liquidation, legal and up.
Hostiles ahead, watch it.
So just going back a little bit to the charge ability. Well, we won't see it for another few seconds here, or at least in this combat anyways. Each class has their own ability that is just for them. So in the case of Vanguard, it's Charge. Soldier, for example, has Adrenaline Rush, and each of the 6 has their own. Now, the cool thing about the Charge ability, though, that's a little bit different, that makes it stand out for its class, is that it really allows you to get in there, get up front and personal, and have a high risk and high reward thing. It also lets you travel, go anywhere that you can walk. So if you get to an enemy who's in cover, you can charge in there, get him out of the cover, and hit him with the shotgun.
Come on over! You're done!
The ability that we just used there is called Shockwave, and it's effectively what I like to call the biotic bowling ball. So you can use that against guys that are in cover or clumped up to knock them out of the way, as long as they don't have shields. You see that just knocked them square to cover, allows you to get at them.
I've got him!
Does quite a bit of damage.